Hi, I'm Rachel of History with Rachel. As some of you may already know, this year marks the 70th anniversary of Anne Frank's death. However, instead of the traditional 1-minute silence, the Anne Frank Trust has asked the public to film themselves reading an extract from Anne's diary for that minute on Tuesday the 14th of April. This is to be tweeted or emailed to the organisation as part of their #NotSilent campaign. I myself intend to take part, but before I do, I thought I'd make a little pre-video on who Anne Frank actually was. Anne Frank was a victim of the Holocaust, the persecution of the Jews by the Nazis during the Second World War. Anne's story is unique because she went into hiding along with her father, mother and sister in the annex of her father's workplace. They were helped by 4 of her father's employees. They were later joined by another family, the Van Pels, also known as the Van Dams, and a dentist. The annex door was concealed behind a bookcase, which safely hid the 8 for about 2 years. During this time, Anne wrote a diary containing her thoughts, feelings, radio updates and daily life in the annex. From the diary, we find out that Anne loved to write, and that one day she wished to become a writer. After hearing a radio broadcast asking people to keep their diaries from during the war, as they were wanted for publication after, Anne went back through her diary, editing certain conversations and names, making it suitable with this in mind. However, the annex family were betrayed by a phone call to the Nazis, revealing their hiding place. To this day, the caller is still unknown. All 8 of the hiders were arrested by the SS. All of their possessions in the annex were also taken. The hiders were sent to Westerbork, a transit camp in Holland, and days later to Auschwitz in Poland, which I visited in February. Anne and her sister were then taken to Bergen-Belsen, which I am to visit in a few weeks. Typhus killed both the girls in early February or late March of 1945, sadly just a month before the liberation. The exact date of Anne's death is unknown. There has been recent evidence to suggest that Anne did not die when she was originally thought to have. Of the 8, Anne's father, Otto, was the only survivor. He lived until the age of 91. When Otto was released from the camps, he was reunited with Anne's diary, which was saved by one of the female helpers when the family was arrested in the annex. Anne's sister Margot also kept a diary. Sadly, it was never found. Knowing it was Anne's wish, Otto published her diary, which can now be found in several different languages and editions. In addition, Otto decided to make the annex into a museum after several people knocked on the door asking to see it after they heard about the Frank story. Today, hundreds queue daily to see the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam. I myself visited it last week. If you ever get the chance, I strongly recommend that you see it for yourself and put into perspective Anne's story along with so many others, as the Franks were not the only Jewish family to have gone into hiding during the Holocaust.